Another round of 49ers training camp analysis here from the facility at Levi Stadium. And today's version obviously is also going to include a Brandon Aiyuk update. Why don't we start with that? Because the latest reports are that the Pittsburgh Steelers are back in the mix. Remember, this morning it was only the Browns and the Patriots because the Steelers had fallen out. The Steelers were not impressing the 49ers enough with their offer. But now the Steelers are back at the table, according to multiple NFL national insiders, including Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport. So it does appear that the 49ers have facilitated a little bit of a bidding war, because shortly after the Steelers' reinsertion into the mix, Josina Anderson reported that the New England Patriots aren't giving up yet on trying to grab Brandon Aiyuk. More teams involved means that a potential return for the 49ers can be greater. And obviously, you can't fully rule out Brandon Aiyuk re-signing with the 49ers as well. I have outlined all of these options. It could be the 49ers bluffing, or it could also be the 49ers covering all their bases to try to make the best decision possible. Obviously, they are not pressured to make a decision this exact moment. And Kyle Shanahan reflected that in his comments to the media. He said that his mood right now, somebody asked him about his emotions, he said that he was calculated. He was prepared and calculated. And that's exactly how the 49ers should be thinking. They shouldn't be in a rush to do anything. To be honest, this whole Aiyuk trade thing, it's been bubbling under the radar for about a week. The 49ers have been having these discussions for more than the period of time that this has been in the news. So I think with that context, it's clear that they aren't rushing to do anything. I think that they're biding their time. They're waiting to see how the market unfolds. And if three teams are indeed in to give the 49ers compensation for Brandon Aiyuk, maybe they could drive that price up a little bit, and they can execute whatever business they need to execute here on this end with Brandon Aiyuk in case re-signing becomes a firmer possibility. But everything remains on the table. I think that's what Kyle Shanahan truly emphasized today. Nick Bosa also spoke up at the podium for the 49ers, and he recounted his contract experience last year. He said that there were some concerns as it got toward the finish line. It got stressful. He said he wasn't sure if he was going to be traded or not. Obviously, publicly, John Lynch said that the 49ers had Bosa off the table. There was no way they were going to trade him. But Bosa just emphasized that these things can get very, very stressful as they get down to the wire. And both sides, the team and the player's agent, start playing some real hardball. Of course, Bosa, I think by all measures, won his negotiation with the 49ers. They had to blink at the end just a couple days before the start of the regular season. But he ended up being paid as the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. And I mean, $34 million per year, something like $87 or $88 million, fully guaranteed money. Everything that Nick Bosa was able to sign into his deal reset the market. So the 49ers had to cave because he had tremendous leverage. There was no way that the 49ers, a true Super Bowl contender, would have been able to make up for his absence. They believe that there are ways in which they can make up for Brandon Aiyuk's absence. Now, you look at potential trade packages, you look at the Steelers, you look at the New England Patriots, and you think, okay, are there impact players that can be sent the 49ers' way? For the New England Patriots, we talk about somebody like Matthew Judon, defensive end, somebody that would immediately bolster the 49ers' defensive line to all-star type of level. Judon is a guy who's posted double-digit sack seasons. Be opposite Nick Bosa, and it would allow Leonard Floyd to be a rotational defensive lineman, which would mean the 49ers are truly cooking with gas. If you talk about Pittsburgh, well, you look at their roster, you look at somebody like George Pickens, the receiver, you look at somebody like Pat Freiermuth, the tight end. Those are both players that could positively impact the 49ers offense. Would they fully make up for what Brandon Aiyuk brings to the table? Probably not, because Brandon Aiyuk is a great receiver. But in the larger cost-benefit analysis of adding a player, adding draft picks, and recognizing that the salary cap is finite, that you have to fit your Tetris pieces under the lid of that cap, well, the 49ers might deem a maneuver like that worth it. Everything is still on the table, and that is the key right now. All right, to the practice report. I've got the notes right here. The 49ers today, they opened up with that Brock Purdy to Ricky Pearsall bomb. That thing traveled in the air a good 40, 45 yards and hit Ricky Pearsall in stride for the touchdown. It was a really good day for Brock Purdy and all three 49ers quarterbacks who played in team drills. We saw Brandon Allen out there completing a lot of passes, and we saw Josh Dobbs completing a lot of passes as well. But there is some injury news for the 49ers. Ricky Pearsall exited practice about halfway through because he tweaked the shoulder injury that actually had him in a blue non-contact jersey over OTAs. It doesn't sound all too serious. It sounds like the 49ers removed Pearsall for precautionary reasons, but you can keep an eye out for that. Matt Breida returned to the 49ers today. By the way, they're doing some construction at Levi's. That's the noise behind me every few minutes. It gets a little bit louder, but it's a good thing I've got this mic right here because I think I'm still listenable. Anyway, Matt Breida signed with the 49ers as a free agent, was with the team from 2017 to 2019. The reason why has been confirmed. Elijah Mitchell strained his hamstring. He's only expected to miss about a week, but at least for the first preseason game, which is coming up in Tennessee on Saturday, where the 49ers will not play their starters. Maybe a couple will have to play just for roster reasons, but the 49ers will not play their starters. They needed another running back to get through it. Isaac Guerendo's obviously still out with a hamstring strain of his own. So Breida is aboard. He's going to be in a 49ers uniform on Saturday in Nashville wearing number 28. Going through the rest of the 49ers, Christian McCaffrey, this is one that we can't forget. He's got a calf strain. We're going to talk more about this, I'm sure, tonight when I run the live. Christian McCaffrey has a calf strain. He's not going to play in the preseason, which doesn't come as a surprise, even if he were healthy, but he's probably going to miss a couple weeks of practice for the 49ers. And the punter, Mitch Wishnowsky, who's been out over the course of the past few practices, has got some knee irritation. So the 49ers are probably going to have to sign a punter to get through the game on Saturday against the Titans. After the Purdy to Ricky Pearsall bomb, we saw the 49ers line up in red zone, and there were some very notable pass-first formations. They emptied the backfield twice, and Purdy delivered 2 touchdown passes. Once, they split Jordan Mason out into the slot. That's something that the 49ers wouldn't have done with Jordan Mason in the past, but he's been a pass-catching machine. By the way, they're going back to Nashville. That's where Mason is been using that jugs machine, been catching the $3,000 that he spent, been catching and working on his hands. His dad has been helping him out in the heat of the summer. It's all back in Nashville where Jordan Mason is from. Well, today, Jordan Mason caught the out pattern in the red zone from Brock Purdy, and it was definitely a play that it was a testament to his improved hands. And then Purdy, out of another 5-wide empty backfield set, threw it to Jawan Jennings. Beautiful throw in the red zone, back corner of the end zone. Secured another touchdown for the 49ers. Jawan Jennings has been an absolute machine through this training camp. I think he's probably caught more passes than any other 49ers receiver. It's either Jennings or Deebo Samuel, but to me, Jennings might have the lead in that category. He's going back to Tennessee, where he grew up outside of Nashville in Murfreesboro. I covered his football camp just a couple weeks ago, had a nice interview with Jawan Jennings. So you can go check that out. It's going to be a homecoming for him, although he will not play since he is one of the 49ers starters. He has been really, really good this training camp. Deebo Samuel had a really nice touchdown catch in red zone today, right near the sideline, got both feet in bounds despite a lot of illegal contact. It wasn't like it came too early from Ambry Thomas. So Ambry's had trouble over the course of his career out-muscling receivers, was not able to out-muscle Deebo Samuel in this situation. 1 interception for Brock Purdy today. He threw one that was picked off by Deommodore Lenoir as he was going for Chris Conley in the seam, and Lenoir was able to step in front of the pass. I mentioned earlier that we saw some nice hits from a couple 49ers linebackers, D. Winters and Tatum Bethune. Bethune, who was looking to decapitate people back when he was at Florida State. That's what his defensive coordinator, Adam Fuller, said. I mean, he said I had to restrain him a little bit, make sure that he wasn't playing, above his means, because we've heard the same description for Dre Greenlaw and the coaching staff in that situation. And, it's good when you have a player that's really aggressive. Obviously, you want to dial it back to be consistently within the rules, but that aggression is impossible to teach. So it's good when somebody does naturally have it, especially at the linebacker position. Well, Bethune today was thudding some people up at a nice and competitive 49ers practice. Also returning to practice today, one of the rookies, Jacob Cowing, who made an excellent catch out on the field, and a young receiver, Tay Martin. Cowling and Martin had both been out with hamstring injuries. They're back in action for the 49ers today. Tomorrow, practice. Thursday, practice. And then the 49ers will fly to Nashville on Friday, which is a day off for the players. All right, that is your 49ers update, including the Brandon Aiyuk update. We're going to be live in just a little bit from San Francisco. So buckle up, stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Big show talking Aiyuk and everything else coming up in not too long.